AskReddit by hysterical fate. What is denied by everyone but is actually 100% real? 93% of children who were molested by someone they personally know and trust, not stranger danger. Edit. I noticed a lot of people replying were molested themselves, so I'm very sorry to anyone who was. I hope you find the happiness you deserve and that those bastards live with misery and woe in prison. Also, children who are sex trafficked are very, very rarely white children abducted in public with rich loving families who would have the entire country looking for them. A lot of conspiracy theorists refuse to acknowledge that poor minority children in bad communities and especially undocumented children are the biggest victims. Just how real family dysfunction is in many cases. So many people just turn a blind eye to it. I just found out my mom had a secret child in high school she put up for adoption and no one ever talked about, and honestly it kinda relieved me because my family always felt too stereotypically atomic, and finding out that was our hidden dysfunction was a relief. Like, yeah, I knew there had to be something and that checks out. You can do absolutely everything right and still fail. On the flip side, you can do everything wrong and still have success. It can't get any worse. It can always get worse. 2 days ago I said, it can't get any worse, as I sat on the toilet for the 3rd day in a row while diarrhea flowed from my ass and I puked into a bucket. I have the stomach flu. I'm writing this while sitting on a toilet and diarrhea is flowing from my ass while I cough and wheeze from a cold. I still have the stomach flu also. Kids are plague monsters. Most evil powerful people are actively supported and encouraged by everyday good people. Let not anyone pacify his conscience by the delusion that he can do no harm if he takes no part and forms no opinion. Bad men need nothing more to compass their ends than that good men should look on and do nothing. He is not a good man who, without a protest, allows wrong to be committed in his name, and with the means which he helps to supply, because he will not trouble himself to use his mind on the subject. John Stuart Mill. Short version is: the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. It's a quote routinely attributed to Edmund Burke. But it turns out falsely so. Apparently, he never uttered these words. Americans already pull money for healthcare. They just do it through a wholly unnecessary, greedy middleman that grossly jacks up the price and denies care. You deserve more upvotes. It is all lobbying and people need to fucking wake up. If it is happening to someone else, it can happen to you. A Calvin and Hobbes comic always stood out to me as a kid. Their house gets robbed while they are on vacation and the dad talks about how you always think about this kind of thing happening to someone else. The mom says to everyone else, you are someone else. Double standards in almost everything. Yes. My friend posted a picture of her toddler sleeping and everyone thought it was precious and adorable. I do the exact same thing and I'm creepy and trespassing. I didn't even go into his room. I took the picture from outside his window. Parents having a favorite child. I don't care for gob. That their job is secure and they'll never be let go. I made it through multiple layoffs including during the pandemic only to be laid off last week. Thankfully I had already updated my resume and had started looking, but no job is ever 100% secure no matter what. The graveyard is filled with irreplaceable people. Sometimes your teacher actually does hate you, regardless of what your parents say. I've seen this with a few people. We've all heard of instant attraction. Then there's instant hate. The worst thing you can imagine happening to you can happen to you. One deer is in the way and now I've lost the person I love the most. It can happen. No matter how bad. It can happen to you. Happened to me recently too. Sorry for your loss. Being lonely can be a silent killer, especially when you have mental health issues. People who you have loved and cherished for years won't understand you. or care about you. You just have to make peace with it. Rampant physical and medical abuse in mental health facilities and care facilities for the elderly. At least in the US. Even the places that are charging like $10K or more a month are often paying their staff shit wages, which contributes to neglect and abuse. Staffing issues also mean the hiring standards are abysmally low. You don't have to be a bad person to end up in prison. And, not all prisoners are guilty. We are not the main character. Everyone has similar shit going on. Everyone has their own challenges and don't even know you exist. The world doesn't revolve around you. You're a tiny blip in existence. It honestly makes my life a lot easier knowing that. I care a lot less about being embarrassed now. People tend to treat you based on fuckability attractiveness. They like to say they don't, but it's simply not true. Old woman here, can concur. It's very weird on the day after your last fuckable day. You suddenly realize you were absolutely nothing special, just young. Money doesn't buy happiness. Watch me leave IKEA full of joy with a 100cm plush shark. Sorry, but I rather cry in a brand new Audi with a 100cm plush shark next to me than cry on a bicycle held together by thoughts and prayers. Deleted. With every passing year, as I get older and more entrenched in middle age and I see my parents get older and more frail, the more poignant Bonnie Raitt's nick of time is to me. https://www.youtube.com/watch?ZTKPEJOGGD right square bracket open bracket https://www.youtube.com watch v equals ZTKPEJOGGD. I see my folks are getting on and I watch their bodies change. I know they see the same in me and it makes us both feel strange. Life gets mighty precious when there's less of it to waste. Scared you'll run out of time. Everything fades. No, not this drip. This drip will never fade. They actually do put stuff in the water that makes the frogs gay. Okay. Technically it's not making them gay, it's making them hermaphrodites. It's a pesticide called atrazine. Oh, it's like Jurassic Park. The full impact of pretty privilege. Being overweight as a woman or being short or balding as a man don't just impact your dating chances, they impact your treatment in the workplace, how strangers react to you, random acts of kindness by others. Even dumb shit like the niceties you get checking out at the grocery store. And it's also incredibly sensitive. I'm thin but can see a difference in how others treat me within a range of 5-7 pounds. It's maddening. My teeth were incredibly crooked. My parents didn't take me to the dentist. I worked on getting my teeth fixed the instant I was able to, and it changed my entire appearance because I had to have jaw surgery. When it was all done and braces were off, I noticed people were more friendly, they looked me in the eyes more, and the overall tone of my interactions was more positive. I'm not attractive, but I also don't have a giant, glaring problem that stands out anymore. You are never as smart as you think you are. What if I think I'm as smart as I think I am? Pretty privilege even happens in your own family. Going through 9 months of an uneventful pregnancy only to find out their heartbeat stopped out of nowhere. You're not always guaranteed to have a healthy baby. I'm sorry if that happened to you. May you have peace.